just a warm bath of a performance, a total warm bath of a performance. And may I just briefly, Dibs, if I may, I know that I'm addressing what you would call potentially the lunatic fringe. I don't think that there are many people listening to our voices that ever bought into the idea of Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold? How many games away are we from Sam Darnold? I don't know how many of you even bought into that talk. I want you to think about it this way. Forget Brock made a mistake talk. Forget how good or not good product of system. Forget all that stuff that you may think about week to week with Brock Purdy. And think about it solely through the lens of finances. Just think about it through finances. And then ask yourself, do you know how bad Brock Purdy would have to be to not only finish this year, not be the starter again next year? Do you know how bad he'd have to be? Because this Niner brass would have to decide, not only do we kind of want a different quarterback, we kind of want to lose 4 more players too. That's what we think. We think we have a quarterback who's so much better than Brock that he's 4 players better than Brock. The whole thing's been built on Brock making about $1 million. So by Ayuk, certainly forget about Chase Young. You're not even getting into those conversations. And probably at least 1 more player as well off of the roster so that you could exchange Brock Purdy for a different quarterback. That's why I said what I said last week. I know this. I know that they can't even talk about an extension with him until after next season.
Right.
But you can lock it in right now unless something happens injury-wise. Go ahead and lock it in. Brock Purdy's not just your starter this year. He's your starter next year too. That's a done deal. So you could, just forget it. He's the top-rated QB in the game. You can have all the opinions you want about it. The finances, if the stats don't do it for you, the finances should. That's the guy. This year and next year, then we talk. That's how this is going to go.
And it's been that way ever since he ended last year, the way he ended it, and went into the playoffs and did what he did in the playoffs. It's been a fait accompli. It's been a done deal. And I said that last week in terms of all the criticism you want to levy his way, it's pointless to me. And so the conversation of is he or isn't he, should they or shouldn't they, and all the rest of it, it's meaningless because of what he makes. Now, if you want to start to look at things like, I don't know, how he plays, go ahead and watch him play yesterday.
Right.
And I was watching the game again this morning. I'm on
you
morning
always watch
duty.
It twice, don't you?
Yes, I do. Baby girl went down about 10:15.
Out of bed.
I was happy. She gave me about an hour and a half. And so, you speed through it. And today, actually, in my rewatch, I was really focused on the defense, just to watch the majesty of what unfolded and how they went about it. And when they used 3 linebackers, when they used 2, sometimes they used 1, and all the rest of it. But I'm watching Brock Purdy, and I was just mentally grading his throws. And on a scale of 1 to 10, and it's like, man, that's a 9. That's a 9. That's an 8. And even incomplete passes, it's like, that's an 8. He threw one to McCaffrey early on that was behind him. It was almost an intentional incomplete, but it was like, that's a good pass.
Oh, I think I remember the one
he leaked out to the right.
Christian took off. There was a little miscommunication sensation.
But he could have forced it ahead of McCaffrey, but there were defenders there.
I can't remember any, I guess if you want to put the touchdown pass to Ayuk, outside of that, any turnover-worthy throws?
I don't think so.
I can't remember any that looked like a Jag had a shot at it.
There were a couple. There was one where he rolled left and there was a miscommunication and he got sacked. He pumped and then he rolled again and he got tripped up and you could see he was a little frustrated.
Oh, Debo was running free in the end zone, but he couldn't get it to him. The defense got to him first.
And so that was a frustration. But you look at the throws he made, the Kittle throw, and the youth check touchdown and all of the various throws he made, and you watch the game and you don't watch it through the lens of should they or shouldn't they, is he or isn't he, will they or won't they. Just watch him play. The dude makes throws. He stands in and he makes throws under pressure. He slides in the pocket. He knows when to run or not run. I don't even know if he ran much at all yesterday.
Not much. No, not much.
And you just watch him play. He's got moxie. His eyes stay downfield. He runs the offense. He doesn't, find his way into, false starts or delay of games because he's frazzled or he's late. The dude he's a real one.
No rushes.
Right.
No rushes. But he buys time.
Yeah.
And
he got sacked twice, I think.
The Jags defense.
The one was the intentional grounding that they called because he underhanded it. And that's one where, you can't really fault him for it because it wasn't going to be an interceptable pass, but he got tripped up and then he threw it underhanded. Turned out he was down and the whole rest of it.
Although, no, they called it. They said that the knee
was down.
No, they said it was not down.
Oh, so it was intentional
they kept
grounding.
It as grounding, yeah.
Even though I thought he was down.
The knee was probably down.
It was pretty close.
But I get on review, it was like, how many blades of grass did touch his knee?
Good old review.
Yeah, good old review, which got us nowhere on that one. But anyway.
But you look at Brock's day, and, most of the throws he made were on time and on point. So what are we talking about?
I don't know. We're
not doing that.
It's the top-rated quarterback in football. It's
they're 6-3.
Stop wasting your time.
Yeah.
That's the 49er quarterback. It's going to be the 49er quarterback for a while. We can get to February 2025. Let's talk. Okay?
Yeah.
Is everybody good with that? Unless he gets hurt, let's get to February 2025, and then we'll open these lines, and we can talk it all out. Okay? We'll see what we see then. You have all kinds of evidence. Either win the Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls, no Super Bowls. Let's talk it out then. It is a non-convo till then. Diego and Marin. Hi, Diego. You're on with Willard and Dibs. What's up?
Hi, guys. I just like to say that I think Purdy's reckless throws are a good thing because they force all the receivers to always be thinking about they might get the ball even if they possibly are covered because Purdy is accurate and smart and able to throw them open sometimes. But really, I'm calling about that. I think the Niners are going to end with the 1 seed because I don't see the Eagles winning out. They should definitely lose at least one before they play the Niners and lose to the Niners, and that'll take care of them. And Detroit should easily lose one of the last 3 against Minnesota twice and Dallas once, and that'll take care of them. So if the Niners can win out, they're going to be the 1 seed. My only fear is how everybody else will line up in terms of who their opponent will be in the divisional round, if it's possibly the Eagles, if they lose the division.
Yeah, so Diego, thanks so much. For me, that conversation we're just not there yet. I mean, even if the Eagles do, let's say the Eagles do lose one of the next 2, Kansas City or Buffalo. Let's say the 49ers do beat the Eagles. Now they have the same record and you've got the tiebreaker. What's decided? Nothing. They've just still got
home field if you face them.
No, but you'd still have to beat them in the regular season in terms of your record, and there will still be really hard games to go. You still got to play Baltimore. You're still going to have to play Seattle.
You got to play Seattle on the road on a short week.
We're just 1 seed talk. The only thing I'll say today is it's not been decided. Like the Niners, this idea, I do hear some people be like, well, now they're in a big hole. Yeah, they're in a little bit of a hole, but the 1 seed is not gone. Not even close. And don't leave the Lions out of this conversation because their schedule stinks. Their division mates stink. They get to keep playing the Bears. The Packers. The Lions are going to be a factor here for sure.